Hey everybody, this is Meiso. Hi. It's been a while since I uploaded a commentary video, so here we go. This was one of the video that we recorded about, I say, a month ago. That's during like the early stage of rank games, and the opponent we play against, Kapan and his teammate, they were pretty well known in the community. Um, it was the server that we played during this match was actually in the West. I think they couldn't really find any, matches in the East server, so they decided to camp to the West server and clap people. Um, the context was we actually lost one game to them previously due to a lot of mistake we made on our end, and also the Juice wasn't really like our set team. We were still trying to communicate and then figure out a way to play together. The context is we didn't have anybody who can play like Kima or Amanda. Otherwise, that would be a more ideal situation for us, just because we can get all the rebound and the East player would not get any rebound. But that ended up being the case that I had to play Clark and Lulu for to become the main scoring option in this match. And today's topic was sort of talk about like the stage of the game, how things has evolved. Like Clark lineup has been there forever, right? So how can we actually adapt a Clark lineup in a today's modern data entry, right? People pretty much just abuse like 3 pointers anyway. And the way to deal with it is really trying to emphasize on defense over anything else, right? And the kind of lineup, as you can see, right, from their side, they basically give up on like rebound as a whole, right? So because they come to West, they expect that they're not going to get any rebounds, so they're just going to play three small characters, and hopefully that on the offensive side they can become a threat. And sadly enough, we actually didn't get this this bounce ball, which is pretty embarrassing. But I guess Kapan is like uh, mountain area, so in the middle. So yeah, his pin isn't too bad on the west, I guess. This is like the Empire recently. They're starting to play a one-off screenplay, so it's very straightforward. So essentially, they're gonna have their point guard just holding the ball and try to create mismatch. Right. The idea is that Joey is pretty OP at the moment. Well, I mean, Joey always been OP, but because of quick shot, Joey is very unguardable. So, but I guess from their perspective, that a Murdoch can still give Joey some trouble, right? So if we create this rotation and Clark is going to defend this Joey, then it'll be easy for them. So that's exactly what they did. So basically, the communication between me and Wen is like, whenever they're doing this kind of rotation, we just rotate right away. It's fine, right? Because I feel like I can still be able to guard a Joey Eve, say that Wen actually helped me out a little bit. So the idea is like whenever when Joey gets a ball, we it's fine for me to jump, right? And the idea is that because of communication, that Wen is going to come on and help right away. Um, and the kind of strategy that we're developing against is that it's fine for the opponent to take twos. They can take any two if you want to, right? We're just not going to allow any threes. So right here, when I actually come out, it's a little bit late. So I sprint back trying to help. And I don't know if this is actually, me interfere that a little bit or the person just didn't make a shot, but the ball didn't go in. So again, right, the communication again, I was like, hey, when I'm gonna get the right side, you go to the left side and trying to guard that side of things, right? And then if these Pedro gets open, that's totally controllable, right? So the few things that we can do is the Juice, because he's playing Pedro, right? He can easily catch up to that person, right? So the Juice is like sprinting in the middle area, so he can choose to depend on where to go, right? So we're not putting a lot of emphasis on this William, just because William is a 2 point shooters, and we don't really care about 2 point shooters, right? So if say when jumped, I'm going to go back to this Chioyi right away. See, but then he made the shot, so it doesn't matter. So two is completely fine. And the Empire strategy starting against like Clark player is that they think a Pedro can actually start with Clark. In my opinion, I think that's pretty silly. I don't think that Clark can actually start with Clark. I mean, what I'm talking about, a Pedro can start with Clark. Um, so the idea is they think, okay, well, if the way to counter a Clark is that you're gonna have Pedro on Clark all the time, right? And then which forces the Clark to go under the rim and ask for alley. Me personally think that's kind of silly idea for Clark to do because Clark, first of all, Clark doesn't have close distance dunk resistance. That means that if you're going to do a alley dunk, right, chances are you're going to miss at least like 1 out of 6 to 7 of them, and they can easily actually do rotation. So if you're going in and ask for alley and the Murdoch, or I mean they don't have Murdoch, but if they say they have a big, they can easily rotate on that and then just block it because the speed is very slow. So the correct way to actually go against a Pedro is to ask one of your teammates to actually hold the ball, and when you just kind of they have to pass in a perfect synchronization. So basically, you're saying, okay, I'm gonna go in right now. You pass me the ball, and then just gonna dunk right away. Right, just trying to go around Pedro, and when you receive the ball, you just dunk. So that was the communication that we had. Gotta be play very patiently about this. See, that was a good pass, right? So basically, you had to go around it. So the better strategy right here that we later developed is that to go against a Pedro that defends a Clark, a better team comp might be is to have a Little Fox as the primary passer because the ball can pass a little bit faster, and the way that they can intercept the ball, the chance of that is less because the pass attribute is higher, right? And another thing you can potentially do for your teammate is that if they put in Pedro on your Clark, you can ask them to get a pass uh, intercept resistance, something like that. There's a card like that. Then that way, it's going to be very hard for them to intercept the ball, and you can just do free dunk all the time. So to me, as a Clark player, I think going against Pedro is probably the easiest thing ever because you don't have to do anything fancy. You can just get the ball and dunk on their ass. And again, right, they're playing a one-off rotation, and the communication is we just rotate anytime. Another thing that they can do is that you can have your Murdoch as a secondary option, offensive option. So essentially, right now, because Murdoch is usually going to going against a very weak defender, you can just have Clark in the mid-range position. If they make the rotation, that Murdoch can just go in and either dunk or lay up. Yeah, why is this quality so bad? Oh, it's already 1080. Huh, interesting. But anyway, again, right, another rotation. Yep. This time we communicated and then we didn't rotate. Yeah, again, patiently have the ball, like, dashing around and pass and then find an opening and you dunk. It's really nothing like Clark that Pedro can do on Clark in this kind of situation. Yeah, just again, like twos doesn't matter. We're just gonna let him take two anytime. Yeah, now he's basically just like trying to, waste time, but then they make a 3 point, I believe. Yeah, so that goes to overtime. Oh, we actually no, we actually make another shot. Interesting. Yeah, it's the same thing. They just pass me the ball, go in and dunk. Yeah, it's pretty much it. Another thing is like if they just camping like this, another thing I can do like after I get here is just pass to PG and PG can shoot. But because like I have dunk these what you call it, uh I think it's called Kissaring. Kissaring is very hard to block. You have to stand very close to the person to be able to block. So when I have that dunk, I know right away this guy's not gonna block me. So I just dunk. So I just dunk anyway. Yeah, because he's way out of position. I think they made a yeah they make a shot like that. So probably getting to the light difference from the east side. But again, they still like apply the same kind of like strategy against Clark, and it hasn't really been very effective. But there's really nothing they can do anyway because in the East player they come to the West. If they play big, they're not gonna get rebound anyway. Only if they really want to emphasize on defense. I think for people at Empire, they're a little bit cocky in terms of like not playing at their best sometimes. So we just take advantage of that. Yeah, he should have made that shot. That's one of the things that PG nowadays what they do is they like to go into the rim, right? Not sprinting and then just suddenly just go out. Right? It's really really hard to guard actually because they're so fast. Yeah, and then that's pretty much GG for this one. So let's talk about the second game. It's pretty much the same ideology. That playing Lulu is different from playing Clark. I'll say like Lulu, the way you play Lulu is you're going to naturally have a better like threat on a 2 point side. So that's why it forces the opponent to actually stay very close to you. That's exactly what Kapan did this game. He has to stay very close to me, otherwise I can just like take a free two anytime. And right now they're not figuring things out. They're still putting like a PG on me. PG on a Lulu is not going to work because Lulu, if you say that Pedro can somehow like counter a Clark, but Lulu, there's no way you can counter a Lulu with a small because you can just like dunk at their ass all the time. I think they didn't realize that until later into the game. Again, one off switch, and then again, see this rotation right here. It has to be very consistent. So after one rotation, the other one just goes to the PG, and after I jump, one has to go directly back to the PG again, and I go back directly to the PG, so they can take free twos anytime. Yeah, same defense mechanism. Yeah, he's playing very close defense, and then the two of them. The reason why I decided to go dash back is because they're actually playing a very greedy defense mechanism in which that they're trying to cut off left and right side directly. But the thing is, with Lulu, you have a more space to take care of. You can dash back, and this whole area becomes open for her. So I go in and pretending I'm gonna go to the left side and dunk directly, which is possible. And then I just like go back directly, and then he didn't react to it. Again, right? Switching all the time, constantly switching again. Right now, Cindy can potentially go back if we're not paying close attention to her, and then he can just quick shot, which is the annoying part. Again, right? Rotation on Cindy. Now it's the time has to close it down. I was thinking about helping him out, but it's a little bit too late. So the way that he's playing defense, he's playing very close defense on a Lulu, which is not gonna work for Lulu because Lulu after she finds opening right away, she can just like dunk directly. So I just go in like this and then dunk, pretty much, because he's way too close to me. Rotation again. One thing like really tricky about this like dunking animation thing is that trap dunk can be easily modified based on the ordering. So there's really nothing that the opponent can do about it, whether predicting this is going to be a trap dunk or a normal dunk. So in this case, the reason why I just go right at it because I know I have trap dunk and he's going to jump right away. So it's like whatever, I'm just going to dunk on your face, because is this is a shitty thing. There's no way the opponent can do about it because you can rotate your order for your trap dunk, so they don't know which one you're gonna go at it, right? This one they just make it even with the screen setting very close to them. So usually if you set screen like this, right, this close, they usually gonna miss a shot because it's a screen. They you're gonna decrease the shot success rate. But PGs are very OP these days, especially Cindy because Cindy has a shooting touch. Again, close defense not gonna work. After finding that side opening right here, just go dunk right away. But this PG was actually playing good defense, right? So she was cutting me out from this dunking pass, so you may need to do a pump fake. I was going to sprint to the left and dunk right here, and then she actually reacted to it. And then when I pass in this area, my passing is going to be like a slow pass, over the head pass, right? So they can easily go back to our teammate. But the thing is, after running down a little bit, they create another opening, and I can just dunk right away. Yeah, pretty behind at this moment. So basically, the rationale is that we're not gonna allow any threes. But the thing is, like PG were just way too fast. Look at this. Look at how fast this person is running. There's no way you can catch up to it, especially with quick shot. Because if this is back in the day, you have a Cindy doing that because her animation is so slow, shooting animation, you can always catch up to it. But things change these days. Again, need to find that opening. Time is going down. Right now, I know how a scissor dunk. All I have to do is to do a little bit of like footwork, and I can pull this dunk easily. That's exactly what I did. And he's gonna miss the dunking path. Caesar dunk is especially good for footwork because if you just like say that right now we are parallel right together, and if you're doing like a Caesar dunk, right? So right here, if Capon is going to your right side even by a slightly bit, and I dunk right away, he's not gonna block it because he's on a wrong blocking path. He has to be on a directly in front of you to be able to even have a slight chance of blocking that. So a little bit footwork will just help right away. So you see, I just basically fight across him. Think we win overtime. But yeah, so at the end of it, it's basically the same strategy, just very consistently on the dunking side, and then because we got the rebound first, we won the game. So this could be differently. Like I feel like if we go into the East, we're pretty much gonna get clapped just because we're not gonna get any rebound. It's very hard to say because um, in a game like this, there's a lot of things that is arbitrary you cannot control, especially the meta today with like small can shoot threes like that. I would say if you're going to run a traditional dunking meta, that's a little bit outdated, I'll say, to this day. But still, like if you play really good defense, like have a set team emphasizing on like rotation and trying to like catch up on threes and not allowing any threes, then the chance of like having a more consistent twos could work because chances are that people are just going to play smalls like I see a lot of lineup not even having like a league anymore. They're just going to play William, right? So you can abuse this like big lineup, but try to emphasize on defense, right? Yeah, that's basically it for this video. Should be like having a few more videos to come out, but yeah, this is one of the really great match we had with people coming from the East.